Hey, what's up everyone, and welcome back to the second episode of the Wix Dropshipping series. In today's video, we'll be looking at how to increase your conversion rate on your website, making sure that you have the perfect design in terms of converting users who are actually landing on your website. So when you start driving traffic for your Facebook ads, maybe your TikTok ads, whatever you will be doing with your dropshipping website, you want to make sure that you have a website which actually brings confidence into your customers and make sure that they are converting into paying customers. And if you haven't already watched the first video of this series, make sure you do go back and watch that video. I'll leave the link in the video description down below so you can just go ahead and watch the first episode before you dive in deeper into this video right here. But with that being said, let's just jump into this video and hopefully you guys enjoy. So the first thing you want to do is make sure you log into your Wix website. Once you are logged in, you will see something that is fairly similar to this, I would imagine. And if you guys remembered from the first episode, we did set up a website around face masks. And this is this website right here, which is my Wix website. I don't think we have published it yet, so we cannot have a look at how the website looks. But we do have our website set up here, and we did set up all of our products last episode, how to find those products, and all this back-end settings that we needed to set up for our dropshipping website. Now we are at the second stage of our website. We need to make sure that the design that we have on the website is up to date, ensure that our customers who are coming into our website is actually converting into customers. But how do we do that? Well, the first step you want to do here is that we want to head over to the Wix Editor, so you can go to Site Actions and then just edit your site. I have this open right here in my second tab. And as you remember, this is the website that we currently have. Now, your website might look different depending on what type of product you are selling and what type of theme you picked. But this is the website we will be working with throughout this video. All of the steps are still going to be relevant for your website, although it might be a bit different depending on what type of product you are selling. But with that being said, the first thing we want to do here is jump over to our product page. So if we hover over in the corner right here, we can see all the different pages that we have on our website. We have the home page, we have the shop page, we have the adults, we have kids, FAQ, contact, shipping and returns, as well as our store policy. But then we also have some store pages as well as member pages down here. And you want to make sure you go through all of these pages and make changes to all of them. But what we will be focusing in today's video is going to be for the product pages, which is going to be essentially one of the most important pages, especially if you are running your ads on social, so Facebook or Instagram, whatever you are running your ads for your dropshipping website. You want to make sure your users are landing on a product page, which is converting your customers. So what we're going to do is just jump over to the product page settings and see how our current product page looks. So right here, this is how our current product page looks like. We can see we have images right here. We have the title of our product. We have our SKU. We have the pricing. We have the color selector, quantity, add to cart, buy now. You can favorite the item right here as well as the product description down here at the bottom. And then if you scroll all the way down, we see that we have our footer. I kind of like our footer, to be honest. Obviously, you want to make sure that you update this depending on your branding, but the current footer that we have, it's honestly looks very good, so I'm going to keep it as is. What we want to focus on is definitely going to be the product right here. So what we want to do is just click on the product itself, and then we have the option to go into settings right here. So just head over to settings, and then once we are in settings, you'll have the option to customize your page. But we want to go down to layout right here. So when we are in layout, we'll have a few different options to pick from in terms of the layout of this page itself. So I'm just going to go through right here. So if you go over to sleek, we'll have this design with a big image at the top. You can see our image is not the right size for this layout, so it doesn't look that good. It doesn't really matter either way because we'll definitely change these images. They are not the type of images I want to use for my website. Maybe they look good on your website, so it's really going to depend here. Jumping from there, we have stunning. So stunning is just going to be this big image, and then you have the kind of add to cart or all the actions on top of the image itself. Can look good for certain products. It definitely doesn't look good for our product right here. We also have the spotlight one right here, which is going to add just your images and then the different images you have on the side as well as the product information. It's a pretty simple layout as well. And then finally we have simple, which is going to add a huge image at the top, and then you'll have the product description, all the information here on the side, as well as the add to cart and all the other user actions as well. Out of these templates, I would suggest you to just have a look through and see what looks the best in terms of your website overall. In my case, I definitely like the classic one, so I'm just going to go back to the classic and that will be fine for my store. Now going back down, you have the option to change your thumbnails. So thumbnails will be the image that you have right here. So we can have it to either the left, we can have it to the right, we can add it as dots as well. So what I would say here is it's really up to your design options. I kind of like having them at the bottom. The left can also look good, but you can see that we are pushing our image right now. So I'm gonna just go ahead and use the bottom one. Then we have the image ratio right here. So we can either do auto, which is just going to make sure that the image ratio that you're using or the size that you have on your images are going to look the best depending on the type of size on your image. I would obviously suggest you to just ensure that you have the same formatting for all your product images throughout your website. And that way you don't even have to pick this, because this will just automatically be the same size across all your products as well. Then finally here at the bottom we have image resize. We can do either fit or crop. In this case I'm just going to keep it as crop. And then finally we have the zoom in on image. This is just going to add a functionality for users to zoom on your images. So if you have high quality images, this will actually look very good for your customers, because you can look in detail on how the product actually looks like. So make sure you have this highlighted. Now, if your images are good enough quality to actually use the zoom on image, because if your images are not the best quality, it's just gonna look even worse when users finally zoom into the product. Now, jumping from there, we're gonna jump over to the settings overall. So here we can kind of have more details on what type of information we want to display to our end user. Now, product price, that is obviously going to be important, because the user wants to know what the price of this product obviously is. In terms of the SKU itself, we can definitely remove the SKU. It's not going to be important for the end user. It just adds additional information that doesn't necessarily look that professional if you are a B2C customer in this case. In terms of quantity, this is going to depend on what type of product you're selling. If you are selling a product which is most commonly bought like multiple of, then yeah, quantity is going to be good. But in some cases, quantity might not be the best option for you, but it's really going to depend in this case. For us, I mean, masks are something that customers tend to buy multiple of, so I'm just going to keep the quantity as is. In terms of the navigation, it's going to be the Prev Next up here. So we definitely want to remove that one in this case. I don't see the purpose of having users going to the next product. In this case, I want them to stay on this product page, ensuring that they are converting into paying customers, especially if you're running ads, driving a lot of traffic towards your website to this landing page. You want people to actually convert into customers. You don't want them to jump over to the next product, which might be irrelevant. I mean, in some cases it could be beneficial, but in the end of the day, as I mentioned before, this is really going to depend on what type of product you are selling and how you want to set up your store. Then you have the info section right here. We haven't added any information, so it's not going to hide anything for us, but I would just recommend you to add the info section as well. Then you'll have the button. So this is going to be the add to cart button. Here you can kind of decide if you want people to just have the option to buy now, or if you want to add the add to cart as well. You can also see that we have the small heart right here, which is going to add the functionality of favoriting the product itself or adding the wish list. So that could be a nice functionality to add and keep on the website as well. You also have the option to what is going to happen when the user clicks on the add to cart button. So you can open the mini cart, which is going to add it on the side, or you can add a cart page, so users are being funneled to the cart page straight away. You can also have stay in product page as well. Now, for my case, I'm just going to add open mini cart right here, and that's just going to be all that we want to do right here. Then buy now, obviously you want to show the buy now button as well. And then for display share icons, this is really going to depend if you want it or not. So what you can do right here is add these share social icons, which just makes it easier for people to share this product with someone else on social media. Maybe you want to share it on Twitter, maybe you want to share it on Pinterest. In my opinion, I don't think this looks very professional, so I'm just going to keep these off for now. Now, jumping over to the next section, which is going to be text. Here you'll have the functionality to change what your buttons say. So you'll have add to cart. Maybe you want to add something else in here. You have buy now, which you might want to add something else. And out of stock is just going to be our out of stock message. Maybe you want to add some additional information here as well. So that is really going to be up to you if you want to add some additional information or not. Now, jumping over to the wish list, as I mentioned, this is just going to be the small heart that we have over here. I'm going to leave it as is. I like it, but this is just going to be how you want to design it. So if you want to change the design of it, you'll have the options in here. Finally, we have the design options. So this is going to be all the design functionalities that we have on this product page. So backgrounds and borders at the top right here. I don't want to change the background. I want to keep it white as is. You'll have the product details, making sure that you have a nice looking heading of this product. So we'll have a heading 3 in this case, but maybe we want to change the actual text of this one. So what we can do is just click on this small T right here. You can see what type of font we are using.
We'll be back with you after this short ad break.
Hello, sorry for interrupting this video, but I have an important message for you, so pay attention. You must smash the like button on this video and subscribe to Who is Boban for more videos. Thank you.
Maybe we want to change this text to bold, for example. It doesn't look that good, to be honest. I'm just going to go back. You can change the font in here as well as the text size as well. And then you'll be able to change this on all the text on this page, which is going to be important for you if you want to ensure that you have the best possible layout, making sure that you're consistent across all your products as well. And what's good about Wix is that when you change these settings on this product page, it will change the settings on all product pages. So you don't have to redo this over and over. Whatever you change on one product page is just going to change across all your products as well. So keep that in mind when you are making these changes. Now we do have the buttons here as well. It's not going to be as funny to look at buttons. It's just going to be the design that you have on your buttons right here. So you have add to cart and buy now. You can see the current layout that we have. You can see that the add to cart button is not as prominent as the buy now button. And that is because you want users to click on buy now. You don't want them to click on add to cart. In most cases, you just want to make sure that they are converting and actually buying the product. So that's why in most cases, you will see that the buy now button is going to be more highlighted and more prominent in comparison to the add to cart button. So you'll see this across many retailers. You'll have Amazon, for example, the biggest of them all, is definitely using the same strategy here, where they ensure that the buy now button is the button which stands out the most to the user, making sure that they are catching their attention and looking at the buy now button as well. But for the buy button on our website, I really do like the design that we currently have. I would suggest you to use some sort of highlighting color as we have in this case, which is kind of like blue/purple on this website. But make sure that your buy now button does stand out. It could be black, for example, with a white text, and then the other button right here could have the black border around it as well. So it's really going to be up to the design elements and the branding of your website. In this case, I do like what we currently have, so I'm going to keep this as is. Now for the final section right here, info section, because we haven't added any info sections, we are not going to be able to customize this yet. So what we'll do right now is add some info to our product, and then we can jump over to the info section and start playing around with that. So what we'll do is just go ahead and click on manage product right here, and then we're just going to jump over to the product that we're currently editing, which is going to be the top one right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on that one, and then we can see that we have our editing settings right here. The first thing I want to do on our product is just upload our new images we want to use on our website. So I'm just going to go ahead and upload some new images right here. And then I'm just going to upload these two images right here, which is just stock images of someone wearing a face mask. I think they look pretty good, so I'm just going to keep these images as is. So I'm just going to add this image in, and then I'll make sure I add the other image in as well. And then when we have these two images, we can go ahead and remove our old ones as well. So we have our two new product images that we want to use for this specific product. Now jumping down, we have the name of our product. In some cases, if you're not focusing on SEO organic search, you can just go ahead and name your product whatever it is. It doesn't have to be super long, just make sure it accurately describes what the product is. In this case, maybe I want to name this one black. Because we only have images of the black one, so black cotton face mask, for example, 6 pieces, just describing how many masks you'll get, answering the customer's questions straight off the bat. Now you also have the option to add a ribbon on this product, maybe new arrival as the example is here, or maybe on sale. That is really going to be up to you if you want to add a ribbon to your product as well. Now going down, we have our product description. So for the product description, I would suggest you update this and don't just use the information that you get from AliExpress. So write a good description that sells the product well. You don't have to add a bunch of information in here, but still make sure that it accurately describes your product, make sure it's selling enough. And if you don't have any idea on how to write this product description, go ahead and have a look at other competitors which are selling the same or similar products, and then try to use a similar way of describing the product on your website as well. Now, once you've added the product description, you'll have the additional section down here, which is going to be additional info section. So here we can share information like return policy or care instructions with your customers. So this is what we want to add to make sure that we get the extra info section on our product. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on add info section right here. And then we can add the title of this info section. So for example, for this face mask, maybe we want to do, so maybe for the info section, we want a return policy tab on this product. And then what you would do is just name the info section title itself. And then for the description, you could either copy and paste your current return policy and paste it in here. Or in some cases, if this individual product has a specific return policy, so a face mask, for example, is not going to be that easy to return if it's used. So that might be something that you want to add into this specific return policy for this product. So what I'll do for this case of this video, I'll just post some example text that we can use within this info section so we can see how it looks on the website itself. And for the info section itself, you can obviously add another info section. Doesn't have to be return policy. So what we'll do is just click OK for this one. So then we're going to add an additional info section as well. So what we'll do is just click add info section again. Maybe this one will be around the protection of this face mask, like how protective it is it tested? Maybe that is something that we want to mention within this section as well. So what we'll do is just name this protection, and then we'll have the same dummy text in here as well. In most cases, you actually want to add some valuable information here, not just an example text, and that will be fine. We're just going to go ahead and click OK. And then I want to add an additional or final info section as well, which is just going to be size, which is going to help users find the right size of the mask for themselves. In this case, this might be more relevant if you're selling clothing, but I still do suggest you to add sizing if there's any type of product that someone will be wearing, making sure that they have the right size that they are trying to order, minimizing your returns and refunds on your store. And for this section, what I would do is just add a table, kind of like this one. So we have 3 rows, I think that'll be fine. 2 columns, headers, no, I think that's fine. Let's just click OK. So we can do size 1, for example, and then maybe we'll have another size, which is size 2, and then we can add the size right here. So maybe it's going to be 11 centimeter, and this one is going to be 20 centimeters, and then maybe it is, I don't know, 50 centimeters wide, and then we have the other option, which is going to be 100 centimeter. This doesn't really make sense 100%, right? But make sure you add this kind of sizing if you are selling something that is actually wearable. And then we can go ahead and click OK right there, and that will be fine for our info sections. Once these are done, we can just go ahead and click on save up in the corner to make sure our changes are actually published live as well. Once we have clicked save, we can go ahead and go back to our product page, and we'll see that this is gonna update now dependent on the information that we added. And as you can see, we added the additional info sections right here. So we'll have the return policy, protection, as well as the size. So going back into the settings of the product page itself and going back to design and info sections, we can see that we have a few options to choose from in terms of the layout of the info section. So we can either go for the collapse that we currently have right here, or the first one in the info section itself. So you can reorder this where we just added the info section, so you can reorder them. So in most cases, maybe you want the sizes at the top, or maybe you want the protection at the top. You can rearrange them any way you want them to be. We also have this other option of the layout itself, so we can change it to tabs, for example. So if we change it to tabs, you can just click on the right tab you want to go to, and then that will update the information dynamically down below as well. Then you also have the stacked version. The stacked version, I don't like it in my opinion. It adds too much information at once to the customer, makes the page look really crowded. So this is definitely something I would try to avoid as well. And then final option is going to be the columns. So the columns, will just add them in 3 different columns like this. As you can see with the design layout that we went for on this product page, this is definitely not going to look ideal. So this is not something I would recommend you to use as well. For our page, I would definitely recommend tabs. So tabs is going to be the one I'm using. Then if we go down, we have the info section alignment. So we can either have them in the middle, maybe you want them on the right, on the left. We're just going to keep them as they were originally. I think this looks the best. Then you have the option to change the headings here as before. Maybe you want these to be a little bit less prominent on the page itself. So what we can do is actually change the color of this text right here. And then we can go into the title itself and maybe change this title to, let's say 12, to maybe let's say 16 right here, making the text a little bit less prominent on the page. And then jumping down, we also have the body text right here. We obviously want to make sure that this is not the same size as our title. So we might want to make this a bit smaller as well, maybe 14, but it's really going to depend on what size you want here as well. And then finally, you have some additional settings. You can change the table borders within the size one, for example, and then as well as the table background and even number rows you can add as well. Once that is done, we have updated the settings that we wanted for this product page. I think it looks good as it is. Now, the final thing we want to add to our page itself or our product pages is going to be reviews. Reviews are going to be super valuable to add social proof to your product. In some cases, they might look a bit spammy, so you want to make sure you add good reviews to your product pages. But what we want to do in order to add reviews to our page right here is going to be to go over to the add app section. Once we are in the app market for Wix, we want to make sure we search for Kudobus reviews right here. And then this is something that will be included for free in the premium plan of your website. So instead of paying $155 for it, it will just be included directly with your purchase. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on the claim app right here. Once that is done, you will see this. Thank you for installing Kudo Reviews. So we can just go ahead and click on get started. Here you want to add your personal information. So this is just going to be blurred out for now. Then you have the option to change your primary color. You want to make sure that everything looks good on your website. And then what I'm going to do in order to add our primary color, I'm just going to go back to our website in case you already have your primary color. In my case, I'm just going to use this color picker, and then I'll just pick the color down here so we get that blue highlight color that we have on our website. Then I'm just going to add this color code into here so we have our primary color, and then we have the secondary color, which is black, and that fits perfect with our website as well. Once that is done, we can go ahead and click on save. Then you can connect to your Facebook page if you want. In our case, I'm not going to do it. And here we can see that we are almost done. So we can just go ahead and click on next step here as well. And then we have the option to add offline reviews. So we can import reviews if you already have reviews that you want to import. And then we can customize our widget, which is what we want to do right here. So I'm just going to go ahead and click on customize my widget. So on here, you can see that we have the customization that we have for the widget itself. And we can see that we have our review one, which will just be on the main website itself. So if I open right here, you can see that we have the reviews on the side right here. I definitely don't like having that. So what I want to do is definitely remove this on-site widget that we have. So what we do is just go ahead and click on on-site here on the side. So if you want to remove it, we can just go ahead and unclick all of these and then just go ahead and click on save. And I think once those changes are done, we can go back to our website and we can see that the widget is gone here as well. So going back into the settings, and we can head over to style again just to get this overview. We can see that we have a couple different video tiers. We have the product one, full page widget, slider widget, star rating widget, badge widget. The product widget is what's going to be most important for our store. We want to make sure that we have this kind of like product section on our product pages where you can leave a review on your purchase. So in here, we want to make sure that we have the same type of styling that we're using on our product pages as well, so it fits well with our styling of the site. So what I'm going to do is just go over to the new product that we added, and as you can see, we have this review section down here. I currently don't like the layout that we have on this one. It's a bit hard to read this text right here. So what we're going to do is just change the color of the text to, I think, white will look good. Let's have a look and see how it looks like when we click on save. And yeah, that definitely looks a lot better in comparison to what we have down here. It's a bit hard to read it. So let's just refresh and see how it looks. It looks a lot better already. Then if we go back into the styling, we can see that we also have some additional things we might want to change. In terms of the star rating color, that might be something that you want to change. Maybe we want it to be blue just to fit the website overall. I would definitely want to keep it for as yellow on this one, but it's really going to depend here if you want it to be yellow, maybe you want it to be a different color. So you can go ahead and change that as well. Now going down into the formatting down here as well, we have the option to change our font type. I'm just gonna go ahead and double check what font we are using on the website right here. So I think we are using, let's see, Futura. I'm not sure that is correct. So let's have a look here right here. So we're going to settings and then just go over to our design and then product details. And then if we go over to our product name, we can see that we have Futura. Okay, so that makes sense. So we can see if they have Futura in this one. And let's have a quick look. They might not have the font that we want to use, so we might want to use something that is at least a bit similar. So in this case, I might want to use Roboto. I think Roboto looks very good. It generally fits very well with any type of website. And as you can see, it looks a lot better already. So let's just have a look at the website. Let's have a refresh. And then we'll go back down, and this definitely looks a lot better already. So we are starting to have a finalized review section for our website. Then we have some additional things we can change in here as well. So we'll have the date format. If you want to change the date format, we have the name style. So you can either add a first name, maybe you want the full name of the person who left the review, or no name at all, which is just going to be anonymous. Then you have the text direction. This is in most cases just going to be left to right. So that is what I would keep. In terms of the title, you can change it. So maybe you want it to be medium, maybe you want it to be large, and maybe you want it to small. And then for the content itself, you can do the same. So this is going to be the title of the review. So if someone left a review, they say the best product ever is going to be the title, and then they have their in-depth review of the product itself. That is going to be the content. So that is something that you might want to look into as well. And then finally, we have the powered by. So if you want to remove powered by, you can remove that as well. Once those changes are done, you can go ahead and click save, and you can now take in reviews on your products as well. But that is going to be it for today's video. Thank you all for watching. If you did enjoy, please make sure to leave a like down below or leave a dislike. If you have any questions on how to set up your Wix dropshipping website, leave them in the comments, as I try to answer as many comments as I can. But you're also welcome to join our Discord channel, which is free and also linked in the video description. So make sure you do join the Discord channel in case you have any special questions you want answered from someone else, maybe me or someone else within the Discord channel, so make sure you do join that one as well. With that being said, thank you all for watching, and I'll see you guys in the very next video.